Hi, welcome to our new reading comprehension lesson. This time is going to be about lexical items, how to find lexical items and find their meaning. We will try to guess unknown vocabulary and know about its meaning. We'll go through a strategy of using context to find out meaning of new words, the strategy of scaffolding, the strategy of using grammar to guess the meaning of the word. Guessing unknown vocabulary. What do you usually do when you come to a word you do not know in your reading? Do you look it up in a dictionary? Do you ask your teacher? Or do you ask another student or a friend? Or do you just try to guess what it means? The best strategy actually for dealing with new words in a reading is to try to guess what they mean. This strategy is good because it is fast and you don't interrupt your reading. It helps your comprehension because you stay focused on the general sense of what you are reading. And it helps build vocabulary as well because you are more likely to remember the words. It also allows you to enjoy your reading or to enjoy your reading more because you don't have to stop often. If you stop every time you find a new word, ask a teacher, ask a friend, check your dictionary, you'll get bored, you'll lose interest, and you'll stop reading. Guessing meaning from context in sentences is a very helpful tool and something necessary to do whenever you meet an unknown word in your reading. How do you do it? You simply read words around the word, around the target word, the text surrounding the word. That's called the context. You should also try to identify the parts of speech of the words, of the new words. And also the parts of speech of the words around the target word, to be able to know what part of speech the target word is. Try to identify the minimum number of words necessary to identify the meaning in the context. That may help understand the new word. Limit yourself to a minimum number of words around the word. If you don't find it so helpful, then you can extend the number of words. Continue seeking other reinforcing content words in the sentence. There might be some helping words in the sentence before or after, but generally it's better to stay focused on the same sentence. Usually, the context within the same sentence is enough to help you find out the meaning of a new word in that sentence. But in case it doesn't work for you, in case you find it still not so clear, you're not really so sure of the meaning, then you can move on to the sentence that comes after or to the sentence that came previously before that sentence. What if you still can't understand the word? Just pause and ask yourself, what do I know so far? We know the part of speech of the word, whether it's a noun, whether it's an adjective, a verb. We also know a list of content words related to the word. And we know words that can modify the target word. Words that can modify the target word, like if we have an adjective and the target word is a noun, then the adjective modifies the noun. And if we study that kind of modification, then it will help us find out the meaning of that noun. If the target word is a verb, for example, an adverb in the sentence can modify that verb. So if you make a good use of it, if you have a close look at it, think well about it, it might be a guiding word to the meaning of that target word. That's what we have so far. What do we need to do now? We still don't know the meaning. We need scaffolding. What does it mean? It actually means trying to substitute the word with a word that the context helps us understand to approach the meaning. It's just approaching the meaning using our background knowledge and our understanding of the context. We're trying to build a bridge to the new word. The process of using words and ideas you understand to help you approach the meaning of the new word that you don't understand. You're this way helping yourself build your understanding little by little. And here is some practice. Let's read. The singer was so terribly off pitch that it hurt my ears to listen. The ambulance siren was at such a high pitch that we all jumped. The question says, what does the word pitch mean? The word pitch comes between of, which is a preposition, and that, which is a relative pronoun. This is very important to notice. We know that a relative pronoun refers to a noun that usually comes just before it. Therefore, pitch is a noun. That's the first achievement in trying to find out the meaning of that word. We also need to find other reinforcing content words. Notice the white highlighted words. These are reinforcing content words. Singer, ears, listen, high. All these words are related to something we can hear. A sound, for example. What do we have so far? Thanks to these content words. It is something produced by the singer. It can be modified by the adjective high, so something that can be high or low. So it has different degrees. Let's now move on to the next step. Let's try to substitute the word with a word we already know with the same meaning. The word voice may make sense here. It is something related to listening, something that we can hear. It is something that a singer has or produces. It can be high, it can be low. So from all these things here, we can deduce that the nearest meaning or the nearest word to the word pitch is the word voice. And if we substitute it in the sentence, it can work well for the meaning. This is enough. If you open your dictionary and check the meaning of the word pitch, you might not find voice as a synonym for pitch, but you will find something similar. And while reading, during the reading comprehension exam, you're not supposed to find the exact dictionary meaning of the word. You're just required to approach the meaning of the word. You're just required to build your understanding of the word so that it doesn't hinder your understanding of the message of the text. We come now to a different strategy, or a complementary one, let's say, using grammar to guess word meaning. For example, the news that John was resigning from his job surprised us all. We simply couldn't fathom why he wanted to leave now that the company was finally doing so well. When you find a word you do not know, look at the grammatical structure of the sentence. It will tell you about the function of the word, either as a noun, a verb, a pronoun, adjective, or adverb. What is the grammatical function of fathom? That's the target word we have here. The news that John was resigning from his job surprised us all. We simply couldn't fathom. Only a verb can make sense after couldn't. So obviously fathom is a verb. Now you can guess the meaning. Then you have a much narrower range of choices for guessing the meaning once you come to the grammatical form of the word. Fathom means understand. We simply couldn't understand why he wanted to leave now that the company was finally doing so well. So as if the writer is saying he has no reason to leave now. We couldn't understand it. We couldn't fathom it. One more strategy is to use synonyms. Writers make their writing interesting and enjoyable to read by using a variety of words. They may use a few different words to name the same thing sometimes. Example, an orange can be a delicious snack. This citrus fruit is also very healthy for you because it's a good source of vitamin C. Both orange and citrus fruit name the same thing. This makes it easy to find the meaning of citrus fruit if you didn't know it. Another example, a favorite activity of Estonians is singing in groups. They are very fond of giving choral concerts. Singing in groups and choral concerts are the same thing. They do refer to the same thing. Here is a passage for further practice where we've taken two examples of two new words and we will try to work out the meaning together. The words are reticent and ambiguous. The context for reticent is when questioned about the events that occurred there, officials were very reticent. The whole affair, in fact, was not discussed much and seemed to disappear with time. And the context for ambiguous is this sentence. Official reports are oddly ambiguous, but what they do not explain, gossip does. Question number 1. As used in paragraph 1, which is the best antonym for reticent? Alternatives are nosy, talkative, reserved, and the fourth alternative is concerned. The dictionary meaning of reticent is, it's an adjective, which means disposed to be silent or not to speak freely, reserved. You don't actually have this meaning stated in the text. You need to work it out and reach it yourself. Now, alternative 1 says nosy is an antonym for reticent. Nosy actually means snooping into or investigating others' affairs. Though the officials may have been investigating the incident thoroughly, they were not talking about it, since the passage does not contain information about how thoroughly the officials investigated the incident or how curious they were about it. Therefore, A is incorrect. C, it says reserved. Reserved is actually a synonym for reticent, and therefore it can't be an antonym, so it's incorrect. In D, we do not know the level of the official's concern about the incident based on the information in the passage. What we do know is that they were not discussing it. This means that D is incorrect. Finally, alternative B. We need to look to the following sentence for clarification. In paragraph 1, the author states, when questioned about the events that occurred there, officials were very reticent. The whole affair, in fact, was not discussed much and seemed to disappear with time. From this information, we can understand that the officials were reticent because they did not discuss the affair, or they did not discuss it very much. This means that reticent means silent or reserved. So a good antonym is talkative, which is in alternative B. Therefore, B is the correct answer. Let's move on to question 2. As used in paragraph 5, which is the best synonym for ambiguous? We're here looking for a word with similar meaning. Alternative A, vague, B, disturbing, C, detailed, and D, strange. In paragraph 5, where the word occurred, the author states, official reports are oddly ambiguous, but what they do not explain, gossip does. We have important content words to help us here, like gossip does, do not explain. Ambiguous is an adjective which means allowing the possibility of several different meanings, something unclear, inexact. From this information, we can understand that the reports were ambiguous because there was information that the official reports did not explain. Gossip explained what the report left out. Since the reports did not contain enough information to give a clear picture of what happened, it can be inferred that the reports were vague, which is a good synonym for ambiguous. So A is the correct answer. Why are B and D incorrect? Although the passage suggests that the incident was disturbing and strange, there's no information in the passage to suggest that the reports were disturbing or strange. Therefore, B and D are discarded. What about C? A detailed report would explain the incident in great detail, but the passage tells us that there are things the report did not explain. This means that C is incorrect. It's not detailed. That's the end of today's lesson. Just go back to the strategies, read them carefully, and pass to practice. You obviously need a further practice. The practice we presented here is just to accustom you to the strategy, but in order to do better at the exams, you need to do more and more and more practice. Just remember that you need to work out the meaning by yourself. You don't need to refer to your teacher, nor to your dictionary, nor to your friend. In exams, none of these is available. It's just you. So you need to rely on yourself, on your own understanding. You need to build your own understanding, both of the word that you don't know and of the message of the text that you are reading. By doing this, you are going to enjoy reading more and more, because there will be no stops, no cuts, no disturbance. You just work out the meaning of new words as they occur and carry on reading and grasping the message of the author and the overall meaning, ideas of the text. Just enjoy it. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next lesson. with another reading skill.